Okay, you're up. We're going.
You're up.
Hey, we're going. What are you doing? Hey, I'm going to do this one too. Hey, how's it going?
Okay,
Can I hear something going? That's clicking. I'm going to turn that off.
Go.
So, let me hear you talk.
Go. Hey.
We're just testing right here in front of everybody.
Go.
Yo. All right.
Island boys.
Oh, never. I read something, I think on Joe Rogan's blog. He said, never start a podcast with a yawn.
Really?
Yeah. But that wasn't a real one.
No, that was like Island Boys.
That was Island Boy.
Yeah.
Hey, Island Boys.
I saw the funniest thing about that. It was like, if truck stop boner pills were a person.
They would be the Island Boys.
Yeah.
I love that there's still just like freak show things popping up. And I say that as a compliment. If I call you a freak, that's a compliment.
Here you go.
Because who wants to be a normie? I'm Chris Coté.
I'm Norman.
Normie. Normal Todd. Todd Richard. This is an action sports podcast about nothing. If you're joining us for the first time ever, this has been a podcast that's been around for about 15, 20 years. The world's greatest action sports podcast. We're on video. We're on audio.
We also
are we altered? Are we on
Sanskrit? We offer it in Braille.
We do have. You can put the glasses on and
VR.
Mm-hmm. We can virtually reality you. Mm-hmm. It is October 25th, 2021. Todd.
That means 6 more days till Halloween.
6 more days till Halloween. It was a big weekend.
Or 5 days. We had 6 days. Yeah, it was a big weekend. You got hitched.
I got married. And
what else happened?
It was a great time. My legs are sore from dancing. Very simple, fun, effective wedding. So I am now wearing a wedding ring.
And pizza.
Corner Pizza. Shout out. I'll do some shout outs.
That was a lot of pizza to come from Corner Pizza.
That was a lot of pizza. They went out of their way to
they must have started making pizza at like noon for that party.
2 batches. What was it? Like 40. There's a lot of pizza.
Freaking pizza.
Yeah,
dude.
and I thank them for that. And there's, I can go on and on. I have a wedding ring on, and I noticed you don't. We were talking about this a second ago.
Yeah.
You almost lost your finger due to a wedding ring incident.
When I shattered my arm.
Yeah.
I got rushed down to the so basically this is a long time ago. I shattered my humerus into my elbow joint.
Not humorous, is it?
It was not funny. But
is that your funny bone?
Yes. The humerus is.
I don't know. So wait, where is it? Let me see.
Right in the back.
Okay.
It connects into your elbow down here.
Okay.
So that shattered, like exploded.
Snowboarding.
Yes.
Okay.
And I had my wedding ring on, and I went to the ski patrol.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do when you kill yourself on a ski resort. And as I'm sitting in the ski patrol, one of the ski patrol guys notices that, my arm is completely turned into like a balloon animal at this point. And he goes, holy shit, your finger. And I look down, and the swelling on my finger behind my ring was insane. Like,
so it was like this little part of it was
like
fat.
Huge.
Gnarly.
And so they had to cut my ring off then. I just never, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just never got, I don't particularly like jewelry.
You know you're married.
Yeah, I know. Everyone else does.
Yeah, everyone else pretty much does.
I don't leave my house.
And it's not like you're at a bar and a girl's coming up to you and going, hey, what's up? And you're like, oh my God, totally forgot I was married.
But it's like that, I've kind of like heard from other people that doesn't even stop anybody. If you're going out and you're a married dude, it doesn't stop anybody.
Yeah.
Anyways, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
It was a fun party. I went.
You were there?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Hobnobbed around.
It is, no matter, try to do it as low-key as possible. No matter what, it's always going to be stressful. Planning any kind of party, especially if you have a W word in front of the party. Mm-hmm. But it was great. And...
See, I thought it was going to be a costume party.
I did tell you that it was a S&M costume party, and you did show up wearing a ball gag, which is great. Just my uncles were kind of concerned.
Save me on my drink.
Save me.
Buy some drink.
Yeah, so that was kind of the big news this weekend. I put it on my Instagram, and then I put it on my Instagram. I'm like, well, I'm really sharing some personal stuff here, but at the same time, it's a celebration. And I will tell you, influencers out there, If you put wedding pictures on your Instagram, you're gonna get a lot of likes.
You got a lot of likes?
I got a lot of likes.
It's like, but that's like an obligatory like.
You have to like that.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of like, wait a second. So if I put these wedding photos up and get quadruple the likes as normal, what's wrong with my normal stuff?
Dude,
People don't want to see me doing bad skateboarding.
You gotta try kittens and newborn babies.
Kittens
you want
and
to see
babies.
you have engagement now.
Oh man!
Every day, post a picture of a newborn baby.
A newborn. Okay, I will do that. Before we get to our sponsors, I gotta tell you, Todd. Look at me. Look at my head.
What's wrong with it? Oh, we have beanies. We have yellow and black new beanies.
And it is beanie season, judging by the weather outside, which looks frightful. But my head feels delightful in my Monday Mass beanie. Thanks to Shay Donovan for hooking it up.
Nerd House, bringing it.
Nerd House brings it every time. We have a limited supply. I believe we have 10 yellow and black. Nothing to do with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do not like that football team. But if you do, buy 2 and wear them both and represent.
Double beanie, Steez.
I love yellow and I love black.
Okay.
So we have those for you. You can DM to buy them. I mean, we have MondayMass.com. You can check that out. There's stuff on there too. I wanted to also give a shout out to Beneath. He saw me pour a whole thing of these. Oh, we're going into sponsors now.
Okay.
The Monday Mass is brought to you by Beneath Apparel, BN3TH Apparel. And just to show, I
got some new skivvies. I'm wearing some new ones.
We got a new shipment, and I'm just going to open this package right now because I just want to
Oh, what are those?
show you guys a little something. So
monsters on that?
here is a fresh pair of Beneath Apparel right here. They're awesome.
What's
they
on
have,
there?
This
like
is
monsters and stuff.
These are called the Entourage Move. So these are kind of for like activity,
like oceanic monsters and such.
And here's where the magic is right here. There's a special pouch for your special someone, for your special people to go in there. And so when I tell you these are the best underwear on the planet, I mean it. Todd, these are mine.
Nope, you can give those somebody else.
I'm taking those.
They have a
to
Dode.
wear
There's
myself.
a Dode pocket right in the front.
Dode and nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Nuts and Dode. Beneath Apparel, BN3TH Apparel. Trust us when we say it's the holiday gift giving season. That special person in your life deserves to be comfortable. Use the code MASS20 at checkout. You will not be sorry. Also want to thank Herschel Supply Co. at Herschel Supply. Best bags in the biz.
Love them.
Loving them. Actually got a message from the meme queen herself, the Alex White. Remember saying, I need a backpack. What's a good one? I'm like, oh, you've come to the right place. Herschel Supply Co. Check them out on Instagram. Give them a follow. Tag at Monday Mass. And Todd will give you a shout out.
I'll give you a shout out.
NanocraftCBD.
Drip, drip.
Drip, drip. NanocraftCBD. I definitely used some on extra on Sunday. I was very sore. From,
it's amazing how
doing
sore dancing around at a wedding will make you. Also, probably like you're so nervous that your intensity level was blowing out. So yeah.
But definitely use that NanocraftCBD. Use the code MASS20 on the NanocraftCBD website. Bubs Naturals. I've been getting a lot of comments on my hair. It's actually, and I'm not kidding, it's coming back.
Really?
Yeah. I am using a product called Keeps, which is like foam and a pill at night. Mm-hmm. But pair that with the Bubs collagen, and I truly believe that's what's happening. I'm not saying I'm not balding anymore, but the receding has reversed itself. The patch, the large patch, is getting covered.
You ever think about maybe getting some of that spray?
I have thought about. I might just use spray paint.
You can get a tattoo.
Like
hair.
They do have. It's called microderm needling or something, and I did look into it. It's actually pretty cool.
That was my nickname in high school.
I heard about that.
Micro
needle. I think it was just micro needle, to be honest. What else? Hansen Surfboards. I was just in Hansen Friday.
Yeah?
And they have
a lot of snowboard stuff.
Tons of snowboards. I was going to say they got a big shipment of surfboards in there.
Which, and I would also say, if you find snowboard stuff that you like now,
get it.
Because this whole shortage thing is no joke.
Yeah, so
the supply chain is fucked. If you see something that you like right now, buy it on the spot because it will not be there. There will not be a restocking like usually.
Yeah, and I believe the lineup of boats in Huntington Beach is shortened, if not there anymore. But that does not mean
No, it's still there.
It's still there.
There's 100 boats out there.
Okay, so boots, bindings. I have a K2 board right here, and if I'm not going to ride it, you can borrow it, but you must return it or go buy.
Do you think
your
we
boards
could
now?
Monday Mass gear rental?
Yeah,
We can just rent gear.
that could be a thing. That could be a thing.
I feel like I usually just whoever needs stuff like that I know, I just let them use gear. But like I'm starting to realize that it's like a lot. Like people, and I'm happy to do it. But it gets to the point where sometimes where I feel like
it's one thing because I have not gone on a snowboard trip in the last 5 years without asking you for one item.
See, that's not a big deal. I'm just
saying, can I borrow some boots?
People that I
and
know, but I'm not like tight with, and I have a hard time saying no. So next thing you know, like I don't know where and they're like, oh, do you have anything for kids? And of course I have like all my kids' old stuff, so I set them up, and then like all of a sudden it just doesn't come back.
You're like, do you have anything for kids? And I'm like, I thought I loaned you my kids' old boots 4 years ago.
It's
never got them back.
Convenient amnesia. That's people get that.
Yeah.
When it comes to returning shit.
That's true. Think of what if you just
got back everything you loaned out?
Yeah, what if everything you loaned out that wasn't returned just automatically showed up in like a storage unit?
I'd be fucked.
That would be so cool though, to see.
Like how much shit that you lent people?
Yeah. But then you probably wouldn't care.
Right.
I have a storage unit. It's full of stuff that I haven't touched in a year. Yet I do not want to give it up.
I go to mine all the time, and I go over there, and I wish that they offered a way for you to have a storage unit garage sale. Like if they had someone organize it at the storage unit place where you could actually sell stuff, not like sell the whole unit, but like make a little stand right in front of the storage unit, and like on a Saturday people come by and they can buy your shit.
I was thinking that you were going to say if they had like a Goodwill box at the storage unit.
No, dude, I'm trying to make a little bread here.
Well, I'm going to try to make some. We've talked about having a garage sale.
The Action Sports yard sale?
Yeah.
Where?
Right. We've got it.
I don't
maybe
think
right here.
This isn't really our property. We can't.
Well, we can ask. We can ask.
Can we have a massive yard sale on your property?
On a Saturday?
Are they open on Saturday?
No.
Oh.
This could be some big news in the works.
We might have a costume. What if we did this weekend? We did a costume
action sale. Oh my god,
sale.
this weekend is packed.
With what?
Halloween.
When is the costume contest?
I got the 15th at least annual Halloween Heat. 80s Heat.
When is
and
that?
Bella Lux Dance Crew, October 31st. Always proper Halloween.
So that's,
I don't care if it's a Sunday, a Tuesday. It always has to be on Halloween.
Okay.
So you got a whole weekend.
And what's
to celebrate.
first place?
$500.
Okay, so that's $500 there.
Or 3.
Really? You're gonna cheap out on me?
No, I think it's a $500 cash prize, but it's $300, $200, $100.
Okay.
First, second, third.
Oh, okay. So
you're already claiming you're gonna win.
Have you seen my costume?
I've seen it.
Okay.
We'll get into it. I think somebody asked a question about it. Where all your questions will be answered at the end of the show.
Eventually,
you
we'll actually
stick
get
around for
once
that.
we get through the sponsors.
Yeah.
Are we still doing those?
Pannikin Coffee and Tea. I got it right here in my KPBS mug.
I just drank mine.
Oh god, it hits. It's so good every time. Pannikin Coffee and Tea at Pannikin Coffee and Tea. Also at San Diego Airport, you can stop there. Uonline.com at Uonline.com. New Greens. We have a code for New Greens. MASS20. Healthy, happy, greeny. Get your New Greens on at New Greens on Instagram. Go ahead and put a tag on there too. Tag at Monday.Mass, right? Just so they all know that people are going and celebrating, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Something new. Oh, we got Adventure.io, and just announced Adventure.io has tons of San Diego adventures happening right now. If you want to come to San Diego and do some adventures, check out Adventure.io on the gram and get the app. And we had a small, this is our last sponsor thing. We had a little announcement at the end of last week.
Coming, and this is like
It's coming soon. This is a sneak peek.
Right.
You want to say it?
Curtain.
Pedal electric.
Pedal electric.
Pedal
Okay,
electric.
So we are going to be the official podcast of Pedal Electric.
Yeah.
Or,
and we don't have anything in writing, but we met the guys, and
Actually,
they're super rad.
We talked to them briefly.
and we rode the bike,
Mhm.
and they left us with a bike to ride.
Okay, first of all, the bike is insane.
It's both of ours. We just keep it at my house.
But it's dual hub, so both of the hubs
Dude.
have power. You can engage both hubs.
Oh yeah. It's a 3-stager.
Yeah, you talk about climbing a hill,
Yeah.
the thing is insane.
The game has changed, and as we get deeper into our relationship and our partnership with Pedal Electric, we will keep you informed. We do all kinds of stuff: meetups, test rides, the whole deal, flare-ups.
Yep.
There's also questions about that. Follow at pedal.electric for now, and we'll have more for you. Want to thank Adam Art for buying the first beanie.
He bought the first
it
one?
yesterday.
Dude, have you seen his artwork is out of hand.
It's so good, and especially for Halloween, he does the best pumpkin drawings.
Yeah, he does.
And he does amazing Star Wars. He's great. Adam Art.
Yeah.
And he's been a huge supporter of the podcast.
Maybe the only one, but that's
One of the only
neither
supporters
here
of
nor
the
there.
podcast, yeah. So that's our ads, and now it's time for Surf News. Surf News is brought to you by Hansen Surfboards. Guess what, Todd? There was a big event in France.
Yeah, it was called the Quicksilver Pro and Roxy Pro, and it was
Roxy Pro.
on the Challenger Series, second stop of the Challenger.
Third,
Third, what was the first one?
Huntington Beach,
Oh yeah, I forget
Portugal,
about that. Yeah,
and
third stop of the
third
Challenger
stop.
Series.
so now, so Connor O'Leary and Brisa Hennessy won
Yeah,
their respective divisions, and after that was announced, so Perez got second, India Robinson got second for the women. As the points, they were on the calculators and doing
isn't it
math.
Isn't it Kanoa and then Zeke Lau in 1 and 2?
Well, just from the Challenger Series, Zeke Lau,
Uh-huh.
Gabrielle O'Brien, and Brisa Hennessy have all locked in their spots for the 2022 Championship
Wow,
Tour.
there we go.
So I'm
Not only
sure
Ultimate Surfer, but also
he doesn't even need those wild
yeah.
cards.
So wait, what is the deal? Okay, so those. I wonder what will happen to those wild cards then.
That is a great question. I do not have an answer.
Do they go to
that.
the second place person at the Ultimate Surfer?
I don't know.
Who are you asking?
I'm just.
Who do you call for that? Joe Chappelle?
I guess you would call the. You would call the WSL.
Do you have their number?
I don't.
Oh.
I don't.
All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah. I do have their number actually. You're right. So yeah, that was a pretty cool thing. Connor O'Leary. It was funny.
Bringing to you no answers.
Connor O'Leary was one of the crew that literally 2 blocks away on a Wednesday in the middle of summer.
Mm-hmm.
I go up to my local spot right up here, which is not even a spot. There's no parking lot. It's just stairs, and it's random. No one
There
ever
he
goes
was.
there. And Connor O'Leary's there, and so I messaged him saying, "Told you my local spot. Training at my spot will get you on the championship tour every time."
There you go.
And he said that's absolutely true. So you're welcome, Connor O'Leary. Did you see footage of Italo towing into Nazare?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
His caption was funny too. He said, "No life insurance, don't care," or something.
Hey, that wave is so it doesn't. I mean, obviously, it's a very intimidating thing. It's so huge, but like sometimes you see footage of it and it looks fully, like it doesn't look as gnarly as like Mavericks or something.
You know what I feel like with towing in, and of course until you see
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it. But a lot of times you see the land angle, and I honestly think this, Todd, you and I and many people out there have the strength, maybe, that's a maybe, but definitely the technical ability
Mm-hmm.
to ride a giant wave.
To ride down the face.
But there's also
I can't
like
hold my
commitment.
breath that
I can't
long,
hold my
dude.
breath. But I'm saying like in all of these years watching Pipeline, Tahiti, Sunset Beach, Waimea, Nazare, places where normal people surf big waves. I watch all the time people surfing Pipeline that can stand up for sure, but beyond that,
Like not technically what
We're,
you
like-
consider a rip.
yeah, like I'm definitely a better surfer than this person, but. And I don't know if it's I know everything that can happen. I don't know if it's naivete on their part. It's also,
some
balls
people-
and guts.
Some people just have, they're skilled in certain things, and that,
Yeah.
and for them, it's going over it's going over the going over the ledge, or being comfortable with a lip like falling over you and being beaten underwater.
Sometimes it's frustrating being such a wuss because, again, technically I know that I could stand up and get barreled on a big wave and make the drop on a big wave. I'm just scared.
There used to be
I'm just scared of that.
A lot of pro snowboarders that were like that back in the day, like especially with the dudes that would ride big mountain. Like technically, like if you looked at them in terms of, okay, like a good quote unquote freestyle snowboarder, someone that rode the pipe or park or, you know, hit jumps, like they would be lost in a park. Like
you would not even notice them.
No, you wouldn't even notice them. But they just have this ability to read terrain and gigantic balls. They may look like hot garbage when they leave the lip of anything.
Yeah.
But to make turns down something or to pick a line, they're skilled. So there's skill levels.
I think every sport has this, right?
Sure.
You think of a stair chucker, right? Somebody that on flat ground, in a bowl, in a pool, whatever, like you would not notice them, but they are not scared to go jump down 15 stairs.
Right.
And kick their board and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And I respect that. What I'm saying is, when you watch Italo surfing Nazare, it's amazing.
But that wave, like you said, that wave is very deceiving. It looks very flat from the land angle.
But goddamn, you watch some of the water footage, the GoPro stuff, and it is just so intense.
Kai Lenny's beating last year was like the ultimate, like, okay, so that's really gnarly.
Yeah, and a lot of times, if you drop in, you're on the shoulder, and I think in the 100-foot wave, there was an episode of Garrett McNamara's wife towing into, a double overhead wave, a solid wave for sure, but you just can see how quickly everything can go wrong no matter how good you are. Mm-hmm. That's why I will not be towing. I'm making a big announcement. There's a press conference. I'm not towing into Nazare.
Okay.
Are you?
Fair enough. No.
All right. And like I said, I would. It's just I'm gonna leave it.
Just do a whole.
I don't want to
do
do
a whole
everything.
podcast episode on things we're not doing.
We're not doing it.
No.
Okay.
What else?
We got a deal. Ooh, this was a big one. For those of you, I would say, almost everybody at this point, maybe not little kids, let's say 15 and under, but for everybody 15 and over, drive-through was a big deal.
A really big deal.
Drive-through has been a big deal for a long time. It was a series on Fuel TV. Greg Browning, Taylor Steele, 14-Day Productions was the production company. So basically what they did is they got 5 surfers in an RV and drove around. Started in California.
Kind of King of the Roadie, but for surf, sort of.
Yeah, but it was kind of like unscripted. There was no agenda, really. They just filmed driving around. It started in California. I believe it was Donovan, Benji, Timmy Curran, Sean Barney Barron, Pat O'Connell. I'm not exactly sure who was on that first one, but since then they did Central and South America, Europe, which I was on, which was the best surf trip of my life for sure. Anyway, drive-through's back. Benji Weatherly, Donovan Frankenreiter, Parker Coffin, Eric Geiselman so far with more guest stars to be announced.
And then who else was Kalani Robb was also a fixture on that.
Kelly Slater, Kalani Robb, Aki's been on it. Let's say Ozzy Wright was on one. But Donovan and Benji have been the constants for sure. Greg Browning will be behind the camera and producing, so it's going to be good. I don't know what they're going to get into, but they've got the whole USA to do stuff.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be cool.
And when is this? Is it filming already?
It starts filming in November. Okay. It starts airing December 30th on Fuel TV.
Wait a minute. Fuel TV?
Hey, we were going to have a show on Fuel
network?
TV. No. It's Drive-Thru Network. And if you guys want a show, we're
With
filming
us.
one right now on the iPad.
We could make it better.
It's on YouTube.
It's just money.
Did you see the drone getting tubed?
No.
Pretty interesting. Heavy water films on YouTube.
What do you mean, a drone getting tubed?
I was scouring
flew into
the
a barrel?
internet. Yeah, and it not super deep, but a good couple of drone clips flying into the tube, and the drone gets clipped a few times, but it's pretty rad.
So
I've never seen that.
Is it like a drone that can handle getting the shit beat out of it in the water?
I don't really know much more about it other than I saw it and it's cool.
Like, why don't they make those
waterproof
DJI drones? Like, why aren't they waterproof?
I would assume they are now.
I don't think
some of them. I mean, you can maybe. If you can make a phone waterproof
There's like a lot more moving parts though.
on a drone, yeah, rotors.
But that's
and
really
whatnot.
cool though to actually. But I would think that the signal would be interfered with because it's all line of sight with the radio.
Oh, LOS.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you know with the
Industry
controller and
Yeah.
the drone, and so when you get inside that tube, and you're behind the white curtain
phone. Right.
in the
I
green
want to see
room.
something.
Where are you going?
I'm just gonna see if we're still recording.
Really? Why? Are you afraid we're not?
Hey, we're going.
This is a technological wizardry going on.
Quality
here.
control. That's my middle name.
Anyway, what I was
Chris,
saying
quality
is that I
control
feel
Coté.
like that drones are already fickle things, and then you put a wall of water in the way.
And then things get even more tricky.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty interesting. It was pretty cool, and I think it's kind of a cool new frontier as far as drone flying goes. Don't do it when there's somebody in the barrel. That could be pretty dangerous. This is really good news here. I saw this on Monster Children today.
What could it be?
Dutch entrepreneur and real-life superhero Boyan Slat has successfully designed and tested a waterborne rubbish collector to clean up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's an ocean cleanup rig called System 02, or Jenny, is what they're calling it. They've been testing it since 2013, and so far, it collected 9,000 kilograms on the first go, and it's estimated that if 10 of these systems, Jennies as they're called, were deployed in 5 major oceans, half the plastic would be gone in 5 years.
Let's frickin' go.
Isn't that incredible? So, science does it again. Boyan Slat, you're the man. Congratulations.
That's
or
great.
I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but Boyan Slat, you're awesome. Yeah,
It's very cool.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Sad news, a couple weeks back, a friend of ours named Jeff Motil, who was an integral part of tons of Taylor Steele movies, Drive Thru, I mean, I don't know, 40, 50 of the surf movies that you've watched in the last couple decades, the motion graphics, kind of the things that start these movies and hold them together, the brilliant stuff that you don't really think about when you're watching it, but if you hear about how difficult it is to do, you're like, wow, that's really incredible. Well, that was from a guy named Jeff Motil, sadly passed away last week. And so a lot of people were putting their thoughts and prayers out there on the gram and in real life, of course. So Jeff Motil will be missed. Really sad. Gone too soon. And, man, that happens too much. I don't like it.
That's one of the real bummers about
Getting older.
getting older.
I know. Well, our family goes, thoughts to the family, no doubt. Yeah, you can hold this up.
Can I hold this?
Yes, we're going to Skate News. Skate News brought to you by Beneath Apparel, BN3TH Apparel.
What's this bullshit?
This is a souvenir that I got at the Friends and Family press premiere for
I'm holding a skateboard.
You obviously did not get the invite. Skate SD is a documentary coming this November to KPBS. And
KPBS?
KPBS.
Wow.
That's what's up. And it was made by 900 Films. Christian and Jared at 900 Films. Awesome dudes. And I'm actually part of it as
So,
kind of a moderator host,
What
if you
is
will.
it? The history of skating in San Diego?
So basically
What is it?
it's San Diego. So yeah, this is some of it. Tony Hawk's in there. There's Alf.
Is that Alf
that-
on the handrail right there?
Yeah. That was
I thought that was a naked
Dude.
person.
So Skate SD basically.
Dude, that's Alf?
Yeah, remember that's Street Alf doing
I
crazy.
keep forgetting how
front
gnarly
board.
Alf is.
Yeah, he's so
gnarly.
good. He's in it. Brandon Turner, Tony Hawk. There's a lot of Tony Hawk. So basically, it talks about San Diego's effect on the culture of skateboarding.
Right.
And if you're from San Diego, you've got a lot to celebrate. This is the birthplace of skateboarding. This is where it all started.
I'm looking at this picture of this crossbone with Grant shot it. Jay
Yeah.
Grant Britton shot it at Del Mar Skate Ranch. And it's always crazy for me. Like, I never went and skated Del Mar.
You never skated Del Mar.
Never skated Del Mar, but I love to see it now, like where I can tell where the highway is and like where it was.
Yeah.
And I've also heard that that bowl was not easy to skate.
Not easy. I skated it. I was so
How many years did you get to go there and skateboard?
I probably skated at Del Mar Skate Ranch for 3 years, and
like often.
Yeah, often. Like a couple times a month.
Mm-hmm.
My dad lived in Del Mar, so we would go there and I'd skate there. Just my brother and I. We were little kids, so, and it's pretty cool because in the movie, there's a couple main things. There's the urethane wheel, which was not invented here, but basically, a guy found it right over here, a mile away on the hill, and started Cadillac wheels, the first urethane wheel company. That was like, a game changer. And then, of course, with a lot of surfers here, the urethane wheel took off. So it goes urethane wheel. La Costa Hills was a huge thing, which is just up the street. That was kind of like the beginning of downhill skating, beginning of carving and doing tricks. You had the first half pipe Rampage ramp made by a guy named Tom, and that's literally 3 blocks away. The first ever half pipe in skateboarding was 3 blocks away, built in a front yard. The guys used to go and skate these full pipes in Arizona, and they wanted to steal one.
Was that Veronica K's brother?
No. No.
Never mind. I'm getting confused with the story. Never mind.
Anyway, so a lot of really cool history of skateboarding in San Diego. A lot of game-changing moments, people, and places, and that is going to hit the airwaves in November.
I'm excited to see this.
I watched, Mark Suchu.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, is one of those people, like, if there's a list of you could skate like someone for a day, I would like to skate like Mark Suchu. Mm-hmm. He's got a new video out called Blue Dog. It's amazing.
Did you happen to watch the Battle of the Barracks with Nyjah versus P-Rod?
You know what? I did not.
It's intense. Because
I saved the Battle of the Barracks. Sorry, I was looking at Nope. I had a call for us to make. I saved the Battle of the Barracks to watch with my sons, and I had to text him because he was super excited about that game. Yeah. And I said, don't watch it. We're watching it together on Monday. So we're going to watch it
Let me
today.
give you the footnotes.
Okay. Don't spoil it. I don't want to
spoil it, but you want to talk about, like, crazy precision skateboarding.
Yeah.
P-Rod is freaking, he was hurt for a bit.
Yeah.
He kind of rehabbed himself, came back, and he is back.
He's back.
Back.
Yeah.
Like, you watch him do, you go up against Nyjah, who is widely considered to be the best contest street goat of all time. And then, Paul, who's like just so technical and so smooth, also has like, contest chops, whatever. But you put those two together and it's when you see Nyjah do a trick and you're like, oh, that was perfect, and you see Paul do a trick and it's like, oh, that was
also perfect. Yeah.
It's just like, it's such precision, perfection skateboarding, like of the highest magnitude of flat ground.
Yeah.
The craziest shit.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit like last week how some of these tricks are even possible because you can only jump so high off the ground,
right.
And to do some of these tricks where the board is doing either multiple flips or multiple spins, just being able to get that height to allow the physics of the board to flip 3 times.
I think we talked last week about like being able to do like a kickflip backside 360 on flat.
Yeah,
and
like a backside 360 on flat is hard enough.
Caballero flip, like it's so insane that people just whip like no problem, minimal foot screwing in. They're not even really screwing their feet into the deck. They're just like. Setup is minimal.
I project kickflips like 20 minutes before I do it.
Right.
Like I'm about to do a kickflip because I'm like
everyone
setting my feet up. Like, I'm about to do a kickflip, everybody. Right. Stay tuned.
You're just that front foot is screwed into the deck.
This thing it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
cool,
huge fan of Battle of the Barracks. Also, the Santa Cruz video called Bay just dropped. Bay, B-A-E, but it's about the Bay Area. Jeremy Nibbs and crew going off. Tom Asta. The whole Santa Cruz team.
Hey, that reminds me. Sorry, and this is we're gonna go back.
We're going back somewhere.
And this also kind of projects. I don't know, whatever. It's just this is a podcast. Everything can happen. So there's this the crazy storm that's hitting the West Coast right now.
I'm sorry, the bomb cyclone.
Bomb cyclone.
Yo,
you just mentioned the Bay Area. Just brought to my head. Have you ever surfed that wave that's at the Golden Gate Bridge?
No.
Okay, moving
But
right
I
on.
really want to.
Like novelty stuff.
I think that is the ultimate novelty wave. And I heard that the locals out there are not super cool, but also, like, not that good at surfing. But I'm not saying that because I'm sure they're great surfers. And if I want to surf up there, I'm sure they'll be very welcoming. I'll just be alone.
Right.
No, I'm not doing anything.
Anyway, I was just curious.
That is, so for me, that is my dream
Novelty.
surf photo.
To get a photo of that.
Just even standing on the wave.
Oh, yeah, because you're goofy foot, too, so
Yeah.
you do a good slash right there.
Would you rather have even just a shot of doing a turn, your regular foot, but still doing a backside snap with the Golden Gate Bridge in the back? Or like in a decent, let's say a foot over your head barrel in Tahiti? Because it's hard to time either one of those.
I would say to get a good snap with the Golden Gate Bridge in the background.
Right? I kind of agree.
It's just so weird, but it's also like
so cool.
I've also heard that spot is like it's fucking a lot of current.
You can get like sucked out into the worst part of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
If you're not careful. Like I don't think that would happen to us, but I'm sure it'll
happen. Anyway, moving right along.
So I was saying about so I'm wondering if for skaters, I know for surfers when you're coming up as a pro, and I went through this, like, you know, at some point in your career or some point in your life, you have to go to the North Shore and you have to at least try to surf pipeline or whatever.
Yeah.
I tried and failed, hence my short professional surf
hill
career.
Bombing?
So I'm wondering for skaters, and if you grew up there, obviously it's different, but if you're like a skater, and no matter what your specialty is in the streets, if your team manager is like, we're going to San Francisco, do you start getting scared? Is that like going to the North Shore or going to like the backcountry somewhere gnarly? Do you think skaters feel that same way? Like, I gotta go bomb hills.
I think if you're like if you're a skater from, let's say, the Midwest and you get put on Antihero,
you're like,
and if you're skating for real or something like any of the deluxe brands, but you're like, you know, you have to have a certain look / aesthetic to get picked up by some of those earlier SF brands. Yeah. You know, so it kind of comes with the territory. Like, you already don't give a fuck.
You're already gonna bomb.
But like, you could be the tech dude, and all of a sudden, like, you find yourself kick-flipping over a fire hydrant, and then you're switch bombing like a hill.
Yeah, no problem. And I've gone on skate missions in San Francisco.
It's fucked up.
It's the best. I mean, it's the best. You like.
But bombing hills is fucked up.
No, I'm not bombing hills. But, you know, you kind of, like, get the feel for it. You can kind of bomb a little bit and then jump off or power slide or whatever. But it's got to be the best skate city in the world. Yeah. Any more skate news from you? Oh, I got news. Oh. Duh. Ace Pelka just dropped a video part. And I love this. That's who I just DM'd him. I don't know him, but I just threw out a little Hail Mary. Ace Pelka, who I've heard is a really nice guy, dropped a video part. And so this is what I love about skating. You don't have to win Street League to be pro. You don't have to kickflip 40 stairs to get attention. Ace Pelka is probably the gnarliest slappy skater in the world. Yeah. And he's so creative, rips bowls, you know, jumps off stuff. He's now pro for Madness, and his latest video drop is seriously mind-blowing and mind-bending. There's a couple tricks on there that are just so outrageous. So imagine a double-sided curb with a gap and a double-sided curb. Board slide, and going sideways, ollie the gap, and to board slide.
And this is after slappy.
This is like, you know, going up and like rock slide.
Yeah.
And somehow he's able to
like
sliding sideways,
like
ollie over.
It.
It's insane.
You know what I saw this morning just in my random toilet peruse of
Instagram? Good. What was your toilet?
It's a shot of Ray Barbie off of like I don't know. It's old, but it's not like crazy old. Yeah. It's just like a little bump ramp. Yeah. He does like a frontside 180 flip. Yeah. Like a 180 kick flip, but catches it really high and then falls the rest of the way, so it's like a frontside 360. It's really sick, but it's just the way that like Ray Barbie did it and makes it so.
Of course.
Ray Barbie's the shit.
The best.
Yeah. Okay.
That was skate news.
Skate news.
This is a nice, clean, tight podcast today.
Like
We're not screwing around. Snow news. Todd, this is pretty cool.
Triples, dude.
So
That's all I gotta
Todd
say.
was
Triples.
Todd was working on the weekend like lover boy. He was, doing a broadcast.
I was up in this mix.
You were in the mix.
Yep.
You hosted, commentated a big snow event.
Yeah.
The World Cup. Big Air.
That was the Big Air in Kur, Switzerland.
Is it Kur?
Yeah, well, that's how you pronounce it.
It's spelled Chur.
Chur.
Yeah,
But it's pronounced Kur.
Kur. And is this by Sasafe?
It's about 3.5 hours from Sasafe.
And you say Sasafe now without
do.
yeah,
It's
on accident. I
completely,
fucked you up, dude.
Yep.
Sorry.
But anyway, it was the opener for the, I guess, the qualification process to make the Big Air team.
And this is a new era of spinning.
Oh my God!
What happened?
But it's not really. It's not really like this jump wasn't that big. I mean, the winners did 1620s on the men's side, and which is, it doesn't.
How many
seem,
spins is 1620?
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And then the women's side of things is like a double cork 1081 for them, but it's crazy to think that that was like a smaller jump.
Yeah.
And apparently the jump that's in Beijing, it's a permanent structure. It's not made of scaffolding.
Okay.
So
Cement.
They're already it's like cement or something, like a ski jump landing with this jump, and they're already saying it will be the most perfect kicker ever built for snowboarding.
Okay.
So
The Olympics is coming.
WTF.
And as expected, a young teenager from Japan won the women's side, Kokomo Murase.
Kokomo Murase.
Kokomo Murase. Anna Gasser got second.
Really good. Yep. Anna Gasser is, she's Anna Gasser. She's been at the forefront of women's progression off of jumps for a long time. And then I think this is the coolest part, was that you have Rene Renekongos got second in the men's side of things, of course. And Jonas Bossiger won with just being he was just super stylish. Like, he did some big tricks, but it just seemed like his style. Style
wins?
Kind of.
So style matters.
Kind of, yeah.
I love to hear that. Snow News is brought to you by K2 Snowboarding, by the way, at K2 Snowboarding.
So.
You talked a minute ago about the bomb cyclone. What is that doing for snow?
Oh, bomb cyclone
Dude, this thing's a bomb cyclone.
So apparently Mammoth is opening this week.
On the 29th.
I think Friday? Yeah.
What's today? How is it already the end of November?
It's fucked up.
Time flies.
Friday is Mammoth's opening day. Apparently they're supposed to get 30 inches of snow. Tahoe's already logged in with, Boreal is logged in with 30 inches of snow already. Crazy, right? And it's
crazy.
Barfing snow bomb cyclone style.
So I had my fingers on the snow pulse, and I saw that a couple days ago it was snowing on top of Mammoth and raining at the bottom.
Right.
Does that happen at a lot at resorts around? And if it, what does that mean? What does that do for the snow?
What do you mean?
Well, if it's raining and snowing, does it make avalanche danger higher, or what is it?
It depends on when the rain has come through versus when the snow has come through. So I think what ended up happening was that as this storm came in, temperatures were really warm in the beginning,
right? Okay.
And then they began to drop. So that's a better scenario than having it be cold and then rain and then get cold again, because you get a frozen layer in the middle.
And that's when you get an avalanche.
That's when you get the avalanche problem.
Okay.
So let's move on now to the craziest fucking shit ever.
Yeah.
People are doing triple corks in the half pipe now, Chris.
Okay. What is a triple cork? I know. Obviously, I know what a triple cork is. But not everybody knows.
Basically,
do it with your phone.
If you're doing a triple
Here's
cork,
a half pipe.
You're just going like that.
So it's like this.
Times, but you're also going like that. It's like a flying dreidel.
So it's
But you flip the dreidel.
2 McTwists. 3 McTwists.
Okay. Get out of my head. So it's.
What's a McTwist times 3?
A couple of the Japanese riders have unlocked, because at the last Olympics it was double cork 1440s. Okay, back to back double cork 1440s.
So that's almost a triple cork.
Well, except without one more.
Okay.
So now
you do your own research.
I've been talking to JJ Thomas, who's over there in Sassafé.
Sassafé,
where all this shit's going down, where all the talent of the half pipe is currently at. You know, the Sean Whites and the not Yuto Hirogomis, the Ayumu Hiranos and you know, Scotty Jameses and whatnot. So
the big dogs.
Apparently, the Japanese contingency, two of the kids, are now doing back-to-back triple cork 1440s. So it's 3 flips with 4.5 spins.
And I get one of them's gnarly, but if you do that back to back, that means you're landing the first one absolutely perfectly to be able to set yourself
pump into the next one.
Jesus.
So that's
what a time not to be a professional.
Well, it's crazy because I think about Ayumu basically took a year off to go and try to qualify for the Olympics, which he did for Team Japan and skated in the bowl competition there, park competition, and now he's just back and it's just on. Like, hi, I'm here. So
Ayumu's still what, like 20?
He's really young.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's just all of a sudden back on it, and you've got like Sean White is going. He's still the best chance the U.S. has at a medal. I don't in
half pipe.
In half pipe. Based on what the talent level is right now and where it's been going the last couple of years, because Sean kind of didn't compete very much after the last Olympics. I want to say that it's going to be real freaking hard. I don't know. Sean's a freaking animal, and who knows what happens.
If anyone can do it, he can do it.
But anyway, triple corks. I never thought that we would see that in the half pipe. And the women now are landing double cork 1080s in the half pipe. So there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Half pipe competition
makes my head hurt.
Qualifiers begin first week of December.
What does your event schedule look like again? You told us this last time, but you just did an event over the weekend.
And then there's a big air and steamboat, and then there's a half pipe competition at Copper, and then the following weekend after that there's the Dew Tours at Copper, and then after that is Mammoth Mountain. There's another event there with a half pipe and a slope style, and then we get a team, and then supposedly we all go to Beijing and spend a month in a hotel room.
Sick.
This full transparency.
Yeah.
I don't know how hyped I am. I just saw this thing kind of come out from the IOC / Chinese government today.
Yeah.
It just was like in the news. And basically they're saying that if you are a journalist / commentator / whatever.
Athlete, same?
Athletes are the same, but they're kind of different because they're in the
village.
Athletes show up and then leave after they have chartered flights that bring them in and out.
Right.
Okay, so for us commentators, we have to go in a week before, and then basically there are no flights for tourists.
So it's not like, hey, the event ended, I'm going to change my flight and go home early. It's going to be sweet.
You're stuck there to the end. But at any rate, we heard that you go from your hotel room to the venue, back to your hotel room.
Yeah, and I don't want you to get in trouble dropping any, but this is news that everybody knows, right?
This was just dropped on the wire by the IOC, which is it's just gnarly.
You told me before I went to the Olympics that it is really hard work. I love a good hard working. Yeah. I love that.
But it's a grind.
It's a grind. It's really, and of course, I know you and I have jobs that most people out there would die for, and trust me, we love these jobs. But a month
in a
hotel. We've watched our friends do 2 weeks in Australia hotel, and it's kind of start to lose it. The difference is you do go out and you work and you come back.
Yeah, you work and you come back.
Jeez.
Yeah. But still, it's the past Olympics, every past Olympics that I've done prior to this pandemic, you've been able to experience the Olympics a little bit.
Experience the Olympics
and the culture.
And the culture, and get around to the restaurants and see,
just go snowboarding
or
go do anything. But this is a completely different...
So you would not be able to ride?
I don't think so, dude. I don't even think they're really allowing you to leave your fucking room.
Oh, man.
Dude, it's really weird. And I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping there's more details to come. Honestly, it's going to be very challenging.
These are challenging times.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm bringing the freaking PlayStation with me no matter
Oh,
what.
dude. PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, guitar,
I should
keyboard.
probably just not watch anything.
Don't watch anything.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have some catching up to do. Well, I'll tell you what to watch in Nerd News.
Okay.
There's some interesting things happening in the mountains right now. So obviously there was a bunch of fires, and now so the fires took out a bunch of forests, and then a bomb cyclone comes in Northern California, and now there's like rivers of debris
mud
and mud coming out. So it's gnarly, and I'm wondering when it does snow a bunch. Have you ever heard of, so like a forest fire comes through, you think of a snow resort, right?
Yeah.
It's flat.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this happens often, but now is there going to be like new unridden areas created by these fires?
Well, they like a lot of these ski areas have places called like, it's like a trail or a glade called the burn.
Right.
And it's really just a forest fire. It's come in and like torched a whole area.
Right.
And it can be really fun riding in some of these places. But I don't think that the Caldor fire, especially in Tahoe, really
didn't get to the mountain.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see what Sierra at Tahoe has for new terrain that's opened up, because I know that fire did kind of roll in through there a little bit.
Right.
I don't know.
We'll see. So you mentioned it. Mammoth is opening 2 weeks early.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
Big storm.
I went to Slush magazine website, and I saw a new documentary called Rangefinder. Follows Mark Carter and Brian Iguchi in the frozen backcountry of Wyoming's most remote mountain ranges. And I guess my question would be, Wyoming, where Travis Rice films a lot.
Yeah.
And
all these guys live in Mark lives outside Jackson a little bit.
So Jackson Hole is the main snowboard zone. But I think and I don't grasp this quite, maybe not enough, but so Wyoming, when you think of a place like Alaska, what's the
Colorado?
No, Baldface.
Oh,
like big, gnarly open mountain places. You can do all of that in Wyoming too, right? Like Wyoming's as gnarly as anywhere.
The Tetons are rugged.
Okay.
They're very jagged, sharp, big mountains. Like Colorado kind of has like rolling mountains.
Yeah. And lifts and fun stuff, and you can go and ride your snowboard.
Right.
But
the mountains are really they can be really raw.
Yeah.
In Wyoming.
So not only are these guys talking about social distancing from everybody, but also survival.
Right.
So I know obviously Brian Iguchi, legend. Mark Carter is like, who's Mark Carter?
Mark Carter's a real shit kicking fella out of Wyoming. He's great.
Good old.
He is
Wyoming
a good old
guy.
boy.
Okay.
Rancher.
Nice.
Yeah.
And these guys just go out there and find shit and rip it.
Go down it.
Well, that's coming out December 14th.
Hey, let me just bomb cyclone talk real quick.
You want to talk bomb cyclone?
So, here, this is completely unrelated to anything we're talking
good.
about. But,
this is an action sports podcast about nothing.
You know Highway 1 that goes up all the way up the coast, right, through Big Sur?
Of California?
Right.
Yeah.
So, it seems to me that road has been open and closed on and off now.
Yeah.
Because of giant rock slides that have taken out the road.
And mud.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We're having this rain event, which could be 12 inches of rain in that zone.
Yeah.
What do you think the odds are of that road being fucked again? Like within the next day, like we find out, like, yep, that's just closed.
Probably pretty high.
It would fucking suck to live in Big Sur and like know that's I just can't go anywhere. I could be trapped here.
But I think for people that live in Big Sur, that's probably what they want.
Yeah.
If you live there, you're probably stoked when at least part of the road goes away. Mm-hmm. Unless you're like in tourism. But if you're like like a Big Sur mountain person, you're like, yes, the road's washed. Now I don't have to see city slickers.
It's just gnarly though.
I want to drive to Big Sur.
We're supposed to you do the Big Sur trek like every year around Thanksgiving. We really, really look forward to it as a family.
Can I come?
Sure.
Thanks. I'll be in the back seat.
You can sit between my kids that just like still to this day, even though they're both like in their late teens,
argue in the back seat.
Fucking eliminate each other.
Any more snow news?
No.
Other than the fact that it's snowing, folks, and it's beanie season. Get your Monday Mass beanies. DM at Monday.mass or DM me or DM him. You'll get it somehow.
Just sneak it away. Oh my god, I'm freaking yawning.
Oh.
Wedding is catching up.
People are just loving Todd's yawns. Nerd News is brought to you by Pannikin Coffee and Tea. There is nothing nerdy about parkour. My son is training to be a parkour professional someday.
I hosted a parkour television show for MTV called
what?
MTV's Parkour
Run
Challenge.
And Gun?
No, it's called It was like Parkour Challenge.
Wait, I never heard about this.
Yeah, I hosted like me and Street Bike Tommy from Nitro,
Shut
and Kemp, we did like it's called Ultimate Parkour Challenge.
Ultimate Parkour Challenge.
And it was this kind of like this warehouse.
You're blowing my mind.
This warehouse in LA that was converted into a like parkour playground.
Right.
And I hosted this thing where like at this time, I think this was like 2008.
Parkour was like
9.
only in France.
Well, yeah, I mean parkour was around. It was like and it was like the best dudes were mainly from Europe, in England, London, like all over. And then William Spencer, the guy who played Spider-Man, who also happens to be from Denver as the wacky skateboard guy.
Yes.
He was one of the judges.
Oh, okay.
And it was like this crazy thing. Anyway, parkour is fucking crazy.
Parkour is experiencing a moment, and I only am aware. Well, I would have been aware by now anyway, but my son's super into it.
I would think like if you were going to be a bank robber, first you would
parkour.
Take parkour.
Yeah, or a stunt person.
Right.
So
it's almost a given that you need to be able to be parkour proficient to be a stunt person.
Well, these guys can jump off 2-story buildings and just land on their feet and roll out, no problem. Dom Tomato is the probably biggest parkour. He's like the Michael, I don't know, the Kelly Slater of parkour. I don't know.
See, when I was doing it, it was this dude named Daniel Ilabaka. He was like the gnarliest dude. Maybe he's like the.
He might be like the Godfather.
Yeah.
Well, we bring this up because both of us, separate from each other, came in today saying Davis Vasconcellos is out there getting nuts. And I've always known Davis, met Davis through his sister, Nora Vasconcellos. And I was like, oh, sick. He's like a parkour expert.
Yeah, but he's like fucking gnarly.
He's
like
really gnarly.
Jumping from roof to roof and shit.
Like, he's part of the Ultimate Tag show. Or he's on Ultimate Tag.
Is it called Ultimate Tag?
It's something like that. Or basically, it's like a giant jungle gym inside.
Very aggressive.
And
tag.
Two guys meet on opposite sides, and they're going up. It's pretty rad.
Right.
But recently, he's been kind of saying like, "Yo, I'm going," and he's been going hard.
Just hella tag.
My wife is calling me. I gotta call her back.
My wife
is calling me. She knows I do the podcast at noon. Love her. Have not watched Dune yet.
Dude.
I know Dune.
It's really good. As a nerd who's read the book, basically the movie covers half of the book.
Yeah.
It's really, really cinematographically, the cinematography in it is unfreaking believable.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. I think that the way that they portray some things in it is a little weird, and if you don't know the source material, you might be a little lost.
Yeah.
But it's freaking awesome.
My wife almost watched it with me because she doesn't really care about like science fiction and that kind of stuff, which I can't fault her for. You know, she's got her own tastes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to watch this on my own. So hopefully within the next. I need to book a trip because I really want to watch it.
The problem with it is okay. So this is Dune Part 1. Okay, it's. This
is a prequel.
No, it's just Part 1 of the book.
Okay.
But they hadn't been greenlit for Part 2 yet, so it kind of ends.
Like,
and you're like, what?
Well, then I have to wait 5 years for Part 2.
Right? It's like just like you think. It's like the movie's like starting to hit the crescendo, and then it just fucking ends.
Yeah.
And I mean. If there was if it said at the end, Dune Part 2 coming out in 2023, you'd be like, oh my god, I can't wait.
Well, now I could say the same thing for Squid Game.
I don't think there needs to be another Squid Game. I feel like
Squid Game... But didn't the end of Squid Game, like, open a whole new opportunity for... And no spoilers.
Yes, but I do feel like the end of Squid Game, like, you could either have another Squid Game or be like, that's it. And then your mind goes... We
go into the Squid Game.
We become a Squid
in our
Game.
Mind.
Right. But anyway,
how many? I think Squid Game. It should be, and probably will be, a very popular Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Really simple. Simple costume.
You just go as a PlayStation controller.
So if you're thinking of a costume and you have some time,
mm-hmm.
I would say get a group. It can be men or women, but you wear kind of bad business suits. You get any mask, spray paint it gold, be the VIPs. Like, that right there is legit. Because that's even easier than the PlayStation mask or the black, shaped thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you to watch this Succession on HBO. Season 3 started.
See, that's one that I would save for when I was
my
stuck in a
God.
hotel room in Beijing for a month.
You gotta binge it. And I know there's no dragons,
Mm-hmm.
but there is plenty of drama and action and humor
Mm-hmm.
and characters. It's amazing. Season 3 has been ripping. Curb Your Enthusiasm started last night. Again, did not watch it yet
Mm-hmm.
because Sundays on HBO everything starts later, but then I figured out how to get it earlier, so I'm gonna watch it tonight. But I'm psyched Curb's back.
There's a new movie coming out, I'm not sure if it's a movie or if it's a show with Tom Hanks on Apple.
On acid?
No, he's like
Tom Hanks on acid.
He has like a robot with him, and it's like end of the world kind of thing with Tom Hanks. I think it's called.
No, that was Will Smith.
No,
and he had a
this is
dog.
similar. There was actually a dog as well. There's
Wall-E.
a dog and a robot.
You're thinking of Wall-E.
And Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks was not in Wall-E. You're thinking of Wall-E.
No.
It's Pixar. It's a robot.
This is Forrest Gump with the robot from Chappie and then Benji, the dog.
Weatherly?
Yes.
In an RV going across America.
It's going to be great. Anyway, that's coming on Apple TV, I think, November 5th.
There was a lot of football this weekend, and I watched some of that, but I've been getting deeper and deeper into F1 racing.
Really?
There was a F1 race in the United States.
For real? You're in F1 racing?
I'm super into it.
Wow.
And I got into it like most newbies.
What lap do you tune in?
I tune in for the first 5 laps, and then I go do something else, and then I tune in for the last 5 laps, and it's totally worth it every time. So this is the most popular sport on the planet, I think.
Yes.
I want to say the Circuit of the Americas, or wherever the race was this week. Beautiful track, and I'm embarrassed. I'm like, oh, I'm such a big fan. I just started being a fan a couple months ago, so cut me some slack. Max Verstappen, Team Red Bull, and Lewis Hamilton, the greatest of all time, are in a crazy battle. And almost every race, they're first and second.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, I love it just because the broadcasts, you're like in a helicopter watching, and then you're in the car, and then you're out tracks. It's just insanity.
Have you ever seen the movie Senna?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm watching everything now.
Okay.
Yeah, everything F1 related.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Love it. Yeah. But the one thing I don't really understand is the Indianapolis 500.
Mm-hmm.
Are those the same cars?
No.
That's different.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not stock car. That's not like NASCAR. It's a different type of F1, a different type of race car.
Right.
They look similar.
Formula One is Formula One.
Formula One's Formula One. Indianapolis 500 cars look similar, but they're not the same. And then there's GP that's like the sick ass.
That's where you
like
see the
McLarens
Porsches and the
yeah.
R8s and all that stuff.
Yeah, and those are more normal street-ish cars. Anyway. So Max Verstappen won this weekend, and I'm hyped. He's in the runnings for the championship against Lewis Hamilton. It's going to be a big finish, guys. F1 racing.
Lewis Hamilton's
he's
super into snowboarding. Do you know that?
And surfing. He got barreled at Surf Ranch.
Ken's taken him up to Baldface a bunch, and he has to be super on the DL about it because
Oh yeah, you're not allowed to do that stuff. Now, great. Sorry, Lewis. I'm a huge Lewis Hamilton fan as well. If you want to get into F1 racing, watch Drive to Survive on Netflix. One of the best shows ever, and there's a new season of that coming soon. Other nerd news? Halloween's coming up. Maybe next week we'll dress up in our costumes, and it'll be over. That'll be November 1st.
I put my costume on again yesterday, and so my costume has this backpack that you're supposed to wear, jetpack.
With the rocket on it?
With the rocket on
Yeah.
it. And I can't figure out how to wear it and have it not almost choke me out.
Right. You don't have to wear it. Is
You don't
Boba Fett
have to.
always wearing it?
Kinda.
Well,
I don't know. It
you
still
do.
looks really cool without it, but I don't know. I want to be screen accurate.
Screen Actors Guild.
Okay, are we doing
We
questions?
have tons of questions that we're gonna get to. I think I got questions from last week even to look at. No, that's not that. So these are your questions brought to you by Beneath Apparel, BN3TH. These are questions from last week.
I'm looking for some. Here, I got one.
Okay, go ahead. I'll get mine going.
This is from Adam Metzar.
Adam Metzar.
We're going to start it off with Adam,
Okay.
as we usually do. Todd, what inspired you to have a Halloween-themed snowboard graphic? I had a scarecrow, some bats, and a jack-o'-lantern on mine. And part 2 of the question is, what is your best trick-or-treating story for both of us? Okay, so for my snowboard stuff, I always just liked, like I was a really big fan of Nightmare Before Christmas, and like not so much the movie, with the art. With the art. Like I really like Tim Burton's interpretation of what Halloween spooky is.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole, like, I love, like, Sleepy Hollow, that movie that Tim Burton did with, like, I just love the way that Tim Burton does pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns. And, you know, bats and scarecrows have always been synonymous with kind of like the Jack Skellington, and there's a lot of imagery of the scarecrows in Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, too. So that's where that came from. I just really like that imagery.
What was the last, like, good cartoon graphic you had on the board?
The last cartoon graphic. Well, my favorite was probably, like, my buddy Germs did. He did the pumpkin with the cat. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Solid.
And then, what was your best trick-or-treating story ever?
My best trick-or-treating story ever. You know, I had one of those classic. So where we're at right now, we're kind of like by the beach. It's just what didn't always used to be.
Did you guys always grow up? Did you grow up over here?
Yeah, I grew up right over here. This was, you know, it's always been a good neighborhood, but it was a little sketchy, like in the 80s. Just whatever.
Yeah.
Not hood, but just not whatever. But inland of us is a place called Village Park, which is like the tract housing. And I remember I went to Village Park one year with our friend Freckleface in junior high school, and I was nervous because this was kind of like the next level. Here, it's just little houses and, you know, whatever. This was like real tract house trick-or-treating. So like the big leagues.
Right.
So I had my, you know, I had my bag and everything, and I'm sure Freckle will correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember we had, it was him and I and maybe one or two other people, and our bags were like full.
Like pillowcases.
Pillowcases full. We were killing it. A group of older teenagers like started chasing us.
Really?
And I remember that I got caught by this dude, and I was crying, and I think he felt super bad because he like let me go and let me keep my candy, but he was trying to like act tough in front of his buddies, and he was like, dude, it's like it's okay, I'm not gonna do anything. He's like, I got one of them. And so it was like a legit older teenagers. And this was during the time when I believe they call it the Satanic Panic.
What?
In the late 80s, early 90s, when like heavy metalers were, you know, like killing cats. It was like, oh, there's a cat killer in town. Like, yeah. So
we never had that in rural Paxton.
No. Go ahead. Do you have something else? Oh, you have a good trick-or-treating one?
Well, yeah. We used to just like, you know, go kind of like we had that one night that was kind of before Halloween called like Mischief Night. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so Mischief Night was like
Hell Night.
The 30th. Yeah, kind of Hell Night.
Night.
So that was, we always had more fun on that night than we did on Halloween.
Did you ever do anything now you feel bad about?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make you say it.
No, we used to make like stinky
stink bombs.
Stink bombs and dog shit, and like it was bad.
Yeah. And now, has anybody ever stink bomb or dog shit your house?
I always feel bad. Like now, I think back on how many pumpkins I smashed, and like how much of a bummer that is when you get your pumpkin smashed before, and not on Halloween, because Halloween is just like smash pumpkins, but like before Halloween, you're like, oh man.
I have a tradition now where the day after Halloween or Halloween night, usually the day after, we blow up pumpkins with fireworks.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, that's fun. Hannah Lee's got a question. This is actually from last week, but we didn't get to it. This is for Todd, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Have you started watching Star Wars Visions? Also, is there an anime movie or show you've seen before and liked?
I will say that I do not like Star Wars Visions. I don't like the cross. I want my anime to stay anime.
Okay.
and
Fair.
Star Wars stay in that lane.
Okay.
I don't like this weird crossover of like ninjas and I don't know.
No, I mean
I
that's
didn't like
fair.
it. And my favorite, like an animated thing that I really liked, was really a huge fan of. Back in the day, it was called Macross. It was
Oh, yeah.
Remember Macross?
Okay, Macross to me had the best toys.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Right, the jets with
Yes,
like arms
they
and
turned.
legs.
Yes.
Kind of like elevated Transformers,
Yeah.
which were elevated GoBots.
Well, Transformers, like they actually ripped off a bunch of like the jet that turns into the transformer that the jet turns into the dude.
Yeah.
With the gun. That was actually from
Starscream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the big one.
Oh
not
yeah.
not the little one, but like the big one that like turned into like a dude.
Yeah, Macross was first.
Right, and they basically took that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I remember. I think the only real like anime thing that kind of like got me super good was Akira. Remember the kid like with his mind like caused.
Fuck
like,
yeah! Have you watched that recently?
I haven't watched it.
I watched it like 2 years ago. It's still really good.
Is it really good?
Yeah.
Yeah, Akira. Thanks, Honolulu. That was a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Brent LaFleur, aka Becky Bubs, says, question. We all want to know how much Todd spent on his costume.
I didn't.
Chris, what is the most you have spent on a Halloween costume?
I didn't.
You didn't spend a lot of money on it?
I bought accessories for it to try to make it better.
Okay.
That have cost me money. Not like a ton of money, but like I probably spent a couple $100.
My costume, I never spend a lot on my costumes. I would say my most time-consuming costume was when I was... this is like early meme culture. Kind of the overweight, nerdy-looking dude in the self-made Tron outfit.
Oh, dude, that costume
Still
was
probably my
incredible.
best costume
That was
to this day.
incredible.
So I bought a white full bodysuit,
I forgot.
drew on the lines, and then glued on the LED lights
It was so
all
good.
over my body in a helmet. It was still probably
so
my best
good.
costume. I love that.
Did you wear that to Halloween Heat?
Yes.
Oh my god, that costume was so good.
It was, yeah, that's still one of my best ones. Okay, this is from Adam Metzar? No, this is from Joe.
What's up, Joe?
Right, boys, question. Congrats, Air Coté, by the way, thank you. So my friends just had a baby, Dusty.